particular summoner spell. Press the attack on 2 champions on the SKT side.
They're trying to press the attack.
And the Damwon side. They are.
Okay.
But do you know how you counter pressing the attack?
You press the attack?
You press the same amount of the attack.
All right.
Yeah.
And you have the same amount of Guardians?
Yeah. But you've got more electrocution.
There's a little bit more electrocution on the side of Damwon, but that just means that SKT can conquer the game.
Mm-hmm. This is
See how that works?
I feel like we're learning more about your scripting abilities by the day. LS, that's what's happening here.
That is what's going on.
But I want to talk about how these lanes are going to go in this early game, because I'm looking at SKT's squad and I'm seeing, you know, LeBlanc versus Kiana, range versus melee, and on the bottom side we've got one of the best laning duos against a duo that does want to scale to an item or two and try and get some more buttons under their belt. It's
really scary, and I mean, it plays into the narrative that we were suggesting about Canyon has to really be on point. So Damwon's early game is really looking rough, and it feels as though it can snowball out of control for SKT. So we're going to have to pay attention to Canyon. It looks like he's going to do a red star into Raptors, whereas Clid, knowing that all of his laners don't really need him early on, he's opting into what seems to be a full-side red clear. And so what is Canyon going to do early? Because it's really difficult for the Damwon Gaming laners to manipulate their lane states to be favorable for a Taliyah jungle. And so this is one of the problems that I have with the draft, where on paper Damwon's, it looks fine, it goes to 1-2 items, but there's so much wonkiness within it that it's really going to be up to Canyon to salvage it.
Yeah, and we'll see whether he's got the answers for us here in this early game, as Clid is going to make what feels like every game's visit to the bottom side. Half the health bar here is, of course,
better
the
bot
Silas. The Silas clear is not so healthy anymore, but he's looking to abscond his way in. Effort going to miss the Flash Winter's Bite, though. And so the Silas has to slink back into the river.
But priority is established in both mid and bot, it looks like, so I believe that they could move over to Canyon. And that should mean that right side Scuttle Crab should go to Clid.
Yep, he's going to pick that one up here, as Bertha is what Canyon's opted in for. Back coming down. At least thinking about it here for Faker, who does have the shove in that mid lane.
And I really like what Faker did. He built up such a large minion wave that it allows him time to roam. Normally, players will just try to crash a small minion wave, and it doesn't really grant that much authority over mid, whereas if the minion wave is really large in size, it grants your mid laner more freedom, or if the enemy mid follows, the punishment is greater.
Yeah. Well, Canyon's going to find Faker, as Showmaker's going to Terra Shape his way over. Chains Lando, and Clid is here in position. Pebbles go down. Faker does get an electrocute proc onto Showmaker. That's only going to help the lane state here for the LeBlanc, and SKT already trying to put the screws in this early game, and it's working.
Yeah, SKT, they're already at a really big advantage. The rubber band camps for Clid include the Raptors and the Golems, whereas Canyon's just getting access to them. So even though...
Oh, no, the Ignite going down in the mid lane. Chains are going to land. Faker's underneath the turret. Is Showmaker falls, and Faker gets the 1v1 outplay.
No.
Wow. This is a complete turnaround, though. This is exactly what we were talking about, as Beryl doesn't find the grand entrance. Faker actually fell in that 1v1 against Dove. Remember this. This was against his Taliyah as the Echo. Now Faker back on a champion that he has a whole lot more games on, but still, this is the kind of form that we've wanted to see out of Faker in the laning phase, because we know what he can do as he carries his team in the team fights. It's been the laning phase, it's been a little bit dicey, and I think that a lot of SKT fans can now breathe a sigh of relief.
Well, the Lane Kingdom being established already in mid, LeBlanc backs into a Seeker's Arm Guard with the Fairy Charm. Showmaker is going to be in a world of pressure. And we look at what this is a byproduct of. It's the crash that happened onto the tier 1 turret, causing a slow push back into Faker. Minion wave on Faker's side of the lane, Canyon up at the Golems. Showmaker saying, I need to crash this wave, I need to get the XP, but without a jungler to aid him, keeps trying to walk too far up. And then Faker just says, no, you're a little bit out of bounds.
Oh no, seismic shove, caught backing is Khan. The flash is there, but one more auto and Canyon is going to get it. as the Vault was delivering the Quinn to him. Damwon do even it out with Khan backing a little bit unfortunate timing.
This will allow Renekton to get the crash and perhaps even a turret plate. And remember that Khan doesn't have Valor yet.
Nope, not going to be able to hop onto the bird to make his way towards this lane. So no teleports, no nothing, as Showmaker takes another pretty bogus trade in the mid lane. Able to eat through some corrupting potion charges, but Faker also has access to that one, and he's happy to take a turret shot if it can mean that Showmaker is on low enough health to where he can't actually contest the minion wave. Grand entrance does come down once again. Canyon dives on over, but Clit is in position. Seismic Shove does go wide as Teddy doing a lot of damage. Canyon already very low as the abscond comes in from Clit. Can't quite close the gap though, and he's taking a lot of damage. Nuclear now with the auto attacks. A big health bar as Teddy now not a lot of mana. Threaded volley, not finding the mark. And Stand Behind Me is going to get effort out of trouble. A lot of low health bars, but no deaths on the bottom side.
Oh.
Showmaker again chained up.
What's that range?
As Faker is just eating the honey fruit right in front of the Kiana.
I'm probably going to get a replay of that trade, as it was a really a 2-level lead currently. Probably just a level, but.
Well, level 6 has now been gained from Showmaker, but this is the kind of destruction that can happen if you fall behind against a LeBlanc, but more importantly, against Faker's LeBlanc, who just popped over a wall and got an electrocute proc by auto-attacking the Kiana that had no way of contesting Faker's LeBlanc.
He's going to clear out the control ward now on the left-hand side, and basically all that Khan needs to do is make sure that he doesn't hemorrhage up in top lane, and all should be fine because the LeBlanc, she's the core piece to SKT's team composition once this game goes to 3-4 items, if it makes it there. Because she's going to be the one that can get in on every single member of Damwon and just light them up instantly. So, I mean, just look at mid lane right now on the minimap. You can see how far Showmaker's having to play back. He's losing out on minion XP in addition to gold. Everything is extremely painful right now.
Yeah, Faker not going to hold a freeze or anything like that. He is a player that does like to do that sometimes in the mid lane, as that's a lot of damage onto Khan. He's got himself some Berserker's Greaves, but otherwise not a whole lot of damage, going for more of that attack speed start. Recurve Bow will be coming in most likely, I assume, into that Blade of the Ruin King. Does work well against a champion that likes to stack a lot of health in Nogari's Renekton. But this could be a lane that could potentially salvage Damwon. After the death that Khan suffered, Nogari got himself a decent lead in a matchup that can be tough for the Renekton, given the range advantage that Khan does have up there. But it's Showmaker being behind this far that's the huge problem for Damwon, because they wanted to be able to play around this Kiana in the mid-game, and now Kiana needs to be trying to get herself back into any sort of relevant state in the mid-game instead of being able to do anything like that, as Showmaker throws some grass at a minion wave, is desperately trying to figure things out. It hasn't represented anything in the gold though, LS, and okay,
well.
It's going to represent a lot in Showmaker's health bar. Ignite Flash are available here for Faker in a couple of seconds as Weave as well comes towards the top side. As Khan going to get electrocuted, pops back with the Seismic Shove positioning. So good. And SKT will answer with a Mountain Drake on the bottom side, but this Crocodile's getting more and more fed. And this isn't the kind that after he gets fed, he goes and takes a break, sleeps on a beach for a while. He just wants to eat more.
Yeah, the scary thing is the Renekton now, 20 CS advantage, several plates inside of him, a 2-level lead in top lane. Khan had one job.
Yep.
He had one job after Faker got so far ahead in the early stages. And he might just die again. Oh, he's going to find Canyon.
Yep, Sky Strike going to come down there as he's looking to return the favor, but a lot of damage coming out. No Seismic Shove, no kill. As Nogari's going to tank up this turret. Doesn't really Oh no! What? Wow, the minion wave wasn't in range, and somehow Khan is gifted a kill. Oh my god. Talk about whoopsies, LS. That is about the biggest one that we've seen so far these playoffs.
Had Dominus available. He could have tanked another turret shot. This didn't need to happen.
He thought the minion wave was in range. He did not think that that was going to hit the Talia there at all.
Oh man. Well, this is definitely an awkward spot now, where the advantages in top lane
almost nullified, right?
Almost nullified. It's not quite as large as it was before, and now Cliddy's going to be able to get this Rift Herald, most likely going to just take it mid, I would assume.
Or top lane, and give Khan an advantage back as Effort. He's going to turn up here as well as the Rift Scuttler is going to fly into the open arms of Canyon. Faker coming on over. Beryl is here. Distortion going to be returned to here by Faker's LeBlanc, and SKT continue to have control in this game. It may not be represented via the money, but SKT's mid game is ready to explode.
Let's take a look at the replay one more time. Weaver's Wall comes in. Marguerite gets onto Khan. Cleanse comes out, but it doesn't matter. The seismic shove, a little bit too strong. I have no idea what Canyon's doing right there. I'll be completely honest with you. And even his reaction to what's going on is really, really slow. And then right here, Dominus available.
Oh, but I don't know, man. That was really strange. It looked like that minion was in range and then juked out of the way so that the Talia would die.
Yeah.
That's it's pretty unfortunate. But that is an unforced error. Something that we don't get to talk about too much. Sort of more of a tennis thing, but that was certainly a death that didn't need to happen on Damwon's side and something that can't happen in a series like this. You have moments like that, it's going to affect how you play out the rest of the games, and you just cannot let it. SKT members have been very outspoken on the value of having the veterans that they have in order to keep their mindset intact. Damwon do not have that availability, apart from Nuclear, I guess.
Yeah.
It's the only real option as far as experience is concerned, and it's nothing like having Faker on your team. And having cleared Khan, you know, you've got so many big names here. Even Teddy himself has been on some high-pressure stages himself, but probably the other direction.
Well, Canyon and Showmaker looking for something on Faker.
Showmaker not going to be able to find too much in a... Yep, seismic shove, not going to be shoving Faker today. He is very comfortable here in this lane. And that's, you can see what this comp is trying to do, right? Like Showmaker and Canyon, if you had have got yourself to a decent early game position on the Kiana, then if anyone face checks you in the jungle, you die, like instantly. Like that person is dead, straight up. But it's now too dangerous for Damwon to get there because they haven't been able to retain any sort of vision control.
Here we go.
In the jungle, and you mentioned throwing Shelly down in the mid lane is exactly what SKT is going to do. She's going to get one charge as Beryl. Maybe a little bit too far up, but Clid's just going to catch a quickness. Did those plates get eaten or not? I didn't see them.
I didn't see the gold. Then again, I am lost sight, so please remember.
That is true. Limited sight range.
Limited sight range. Blind to my right eye, okay?
Yep.
Well, probably going to see a replay, I would imagine, if the plates didn't actually go down. Or we're just going to know.
Yeah, we'll be told.
When the indicator.
Yep. Now, I assume. Plates just falling down. Noguri on the top side does still have a decent advantage, but it's going to get to the point where it's going to get more and more difficult. As Blade of the Ruin King comes in, Khan gets another tool that he can use against Noguri. Yeah, SKT didn't get them.
They didn't get the plates.
Yeah. So two of them went down, but no. One of them went down on the bottom side. No. Well, Effort also going to lose a control ward. SKT playing handicap mode. Not even taking any of these pesky plates. They've been playing for many seasons. And those plates weren't a thing in any of the other ones. They didn't need them to win multiple years in a row.
Right, so what's basically happening at this point, Damwon, they're showing interest to get an open dragon. Doesn't matter, it's 15 minutes.
Yeah, well, this is also exactly where Damwon wants to fight. I think that it's really smart of SKT to let that one go. It's not only an Ocean Drake, which isn't high value, but also you don't want to come to a Damwon squad that has Canyon there, that has Showmaker there with a lot of burst potential if you're going to make your way in. And neither of these teams have much frontline at all. I mean, Noguri is theoretically frontline, but he's mostly about damage. He's got his Spear of Sojourn already completed. And Renekton is known for getting in there, trying to kill someone, and if he doesn't, he dies. Basically how that works is Showmaker going to dive onto Faker here as Canyon's waiting in the wings. He's waiting, he's waiting, he's waiting. Showmaker might just die, but Faker gets a minion wave underneath his turret, and he's no longer going to have any pressure on him. This is the kind of Faker that you get very, very scared to watch. He's looking well and truly on point here today, as Khan is just patrolling the enemy jungle. He's got Valor now. Adorable pink Valor.
Yeah.
Towards the top side, and he can just Sky Strike these minions all the way down.
You know, what if that's just a shiny? You ever think about that?
What do you mean?
Shiny.
Yeah, like a shiny Pokemon,
Yeah.
but like, as opposed to the other,
Yeah.
the other Valor is.
You ever
there's lots
considered
of
that?
there's lots of different Valors. Maybe it's like Eevee, you know,
Maybe.
like multi-evolution.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's really strange. I guess Quinn's just a Pokemon trainer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now we learned it. They need to make a Pokemon trainer Quinn skin.
No, we just call it Let's Go Quinn. Yeah.
I see what you did there.
You did. Because then you avoid the copyright
Yeah,
situation.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Shirty kind of looks like a Pokemon trainer,
Yeah,
you know?
especially with this particular skin.
Yeah, it's really weird. I mean, that's a Pidgeotto,
Kind
sort of, you know?
I like it. I like it.
I
Faker
like
moving
the
over.
traits
There's a control ward going down. Misses that chain. It's
Missed
the
the
first one
chain.
that I've seen miss so far, so I'm not going to be too upset about it.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, I know. Not impressed. Not
Yeah.
impressed. My prediction on LS's opinion of the situation. Nuclear now with some free time on this turret. That's an ultimate that Showmaker threw out. Didn't actually find too much, but Faker as well. In some trouble. Seismic Shove again going to go wide, and we're starting to see which version of Canyon we're getting. This time around, Khan zooming around and will be able to find this turret. The rotations of this squad are very, very swift and easy. And SKT will break open the first turret of the game. Not only that, but the outer turret in the mid lane. The reason for a lot of the ARAMs that we experience here in the lull states might be that we don't even get a lull state this game.
Well, we were on the edge of it, Atlas. I was feeling
I know,
it
the
building.
precipice.
Yeah. I see what you did there.
And then SKT just dove off.
Well, they're going to
we
give up.
take down that turret.
Yeah, they're going to give up bot tier 1. I wouldn't expect to see a team fight until the next Mountain Drake. And I mean, honestly, it's the best dragon SKT could probably hope to roll given the current game state. It comes up perfectly lining up with Baron. And it's the exact kind of dragon that allows SKT to make a pickoff via the LeBlanc or the Quinn and then convert immediately into a Baron capture. And it helps with the LeBlanc and Quinn if they attempt to ever do any sort of 1-3-1.
Yeah, and I think that it's necessary to have that as Harrier up towards the top side. Khan knows that he has positioning there as Faker is just stopping anyone from freely moving throughout the jungle. Total gold. Still a lead for Nogari on the top side of the map, but it's a big one for Faker in the mid lane. 1,000 gold ahead is the LeBlanc. And when SKT were actually a little bit behind in gold, it's really interesting how the gold state has gone. As here's a team fight. The quickness is huge into the backline as Faker in trouble, has to flash to get out, and Nuclear follows with the killer instinct. 2 kills in for Damwon already. Have they done it again? This is what they did against SKT in the regular season the last time they met. They found a mid-game team fight, and can Damwon get more?
Well, it's going to be 40 seconds until the Mountain Drake. Effort will be up for that, but Faker, he's going to take a little bit getting over to the mid lane. However, some of the members on Damwon need to recall. Nuclear, he has teleport available. Beryl does not. And during this, though, Khan did pick up the top tier 1 turret, and so the gold semi-neutralized. We'll take a look at how it all transpired. Faker and Effort shoving out the mid wave didn't account for Showmaker being there, and then it was just a party.
It was, and Nuclear is the one that gets all the presents there as well. I have a feeling it was his party, LS. Cleared, can't find the chain lash damage enough onto Beryl, who can get himself out of there just fine. SKT once again venturing back here into the river, but it is so dangerous to do so. Faker just testing with that distortion. Cleared, getting out of the way there as Beryl can dive in. And Damwon, the thing I really like about this composition is that their engage options are from everywhere, right? They've got Beryl with the grand entrance. They are very slippery as Faker may have found one. Beryl's going to have to go golden. The ignite is ticking down, is now cleared. Might be in trouble. Grand exit there for Beryl's Rakan. And And he's going to have to go back yet again. Damwon with a man disadvantage moving into this Mountain Drake that you were talking about is so incredibly, incredibly important.
Well, it does look like SKT, they're not keen on trying to start it because some of their carries are really low on HP. So even though they had the man advantage, didn't really matter because the carries just couldn't take place in a fight. So Damwon, they end up getting the mountain.
And now we're going to have to start talking about where scaling is and what the options are for Damwon moving into a late game, because I see a Renekton and I don't expect a team to scale super well, but Canyon's going to have a lot of damage on this Taliyah. Taliyah is one of those junglers that you can funnel some extra gold into and will be a legitimate carry, probably more so than that of the Sylas, although Sylas does fit that mold a little bit. But Damwon are looking like they have a clear strategy and a clear win condition in mind for how this comp is going to work, and it's going to be around those catches, around those skirmishes. And if they can continue to find them effectively, then it's just a matter of getting your vision down, fighting around where your wards are, and then closing the game out, because they're also a team that relies on getting that Baron to get the work done.
Yep.
And Showmaker, not going to find the ultimate there onto Faker, but does get the stun into the wall, so will stop the onslaught of the LeBlanc.
It's really feeling like this is going to come down to, once LeBlanc gets strong enough, what sort of picks can Faker make? Because given the current map state, you can see that Khan, he's in this awkward state where he just sort of ping-pongs a lane into Nuguri and then looks to roam around on the Valor. Faker, he's just going to keep doing this.
See you later, mate. Klid is going to come in and pick himself up the kill. Faker ran out of buttons, but that was all him. That's what happens when you're walking around your jungle. Both of these teams can do this, and that's why it's so interesting. It's almost like the win conditions are the same, and SKT found the position this time around. Showmaker flashes to get himself out, though wishes he still had that ultimate, but he doesn't. Canyon stole it. He used it against the wall as Canyon now in trouble. He's going to get taken down. Klid gets another one. Noguri dives into the backline as Faker's just darting around, staying out of trouble, but keeping his health bar low enough to bait them all in. Teddy gets that last kill, and Beryl, he's running towards a jungle that's devoid of any of his friends anymore.
And you know, this is one of those really bizarre spots where Damwon, they have tools to check the Baron. They didn't need to face check the Fog of War, and they did. In SKT, they were really quick to pounce. There's no way for Damwon to hold on to a Baron push without just bleeding several thousand gold.
Yeah, they're going to need to find kills in order to stop this Baron, because there's no counter siege in this composition apart from a Taliyah, who is now very single target with that wave clear, as Brendan Valdez, of course, told us. And
you check, you see this where the Kai'Sa is on the minimap. She would be able to check with the Void Seeker if they're actually on the Baron. And so, talk about this very often, sometimes teams are really poor at approaching Fog of War and deducing what options might be available. Okay, well, Showmaker is the showstopper this game, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. This show is not going to be going on for too much longer on Damwon's side
like
if these things are going to keep up. Not in cinemas very long. Damwon versus SKT thus far. It is a best of 5, guys, so Damwon can turn it around. But the thing that is really rough about this is that SKT, not only are they known for their ability to best of 5, Damwon has been able to take them down in the past. Of course, notably being able to deny the Dream Team the finals position against Griffin in the Kesper Cup earlier on. Damwon were trying their very best to find themselves a catch, but Faker doesn't allow that. He's got himself a Zhonya's completed as well, so even more safety for the LeBlanc.
And this 1-1-3 is so hard for Damwon to try to answer to.
Yeah, like, where is their ranged wave clear? It's just not there. I mean, even Nuclear isn't a very long-range AD
Basically,
carry.
it's only Taliyah.
Yeah.
Weaver's Wall coming out.
Yep, that is Klid's one. His walls in the Sandbox series were amazing as Noguri's looking to try and force this. He's taking way too much damage, and Teddy's going to be able to pick up that kill. Barrel into the backline, but he has to exit immediately. Effort's going to go down very low as Showmaker did find a decent flank. They do get one of the kills as now Khan's trying to make his way forward. Another wall came in, though, and that actually denied Quinn from getting entry. It's a Nuguri in trade for effort, though, and that is probably not worth it from a Damwon side, despite the fact that they do alleviate a lot of pressure. Oh, my goodness. If Faker didn't block that.
Body block it.
then that would have been a very dead cleared, and it looked like Faker was trying to get out of the way.
We're going to get a nice replay of that fight, I'm assuming, in just a second. But Clown Dragon coming up in 10, so very imperative.
Yeah, not exactly a fiery day today, so a quick shot is going to be
this is a solo QS kill.
Yeah, this is like the Quins from all of our games. We've experienced this one before.
Well, all right. Here's where it started. Now, I have no idea what Nuggery was thinking right here. He comes in onto Klid. Faker goes golden inside of the Zanyas. Look at where Khan's coming from. So he could have raised the top tier 2 turret during all of this, and SKT could have backed up. He actually took a really bad angle because had he sandwiched them in between the wall, even if he gave his own life, SKT would get more out of it.
Yeah.
And so that didn't end up happening. Nonetheless, as we do return to live, SKT, I mean, they have a 6,000 gold lead, or just over a 6,000 gold lead. That turret is about to fall to the Baron minions.
That is only going to push that gold lead further. 4.2 thousand is the lead here. Is the Baron power play, sorry. 4.5. It's going up, but 1 second to go, and the Baron has worn off. So Damwon do keep their base alive, but this game took a gigantic turn for the worst, and Damwon's going to have another one of those heroic team fights that they were able to show us in the last series that they faced against SKT. It's a very different story, though. There is not a lot of parity between these two squads. Faker is gigantic in comparison to Showmaker. 1-3-2. This is the guy that we were building up moving into this. He was the guy that was supposed to give Faker the most trouble in the mid lane in this gauntlet run, and so far this has been one of the more impressive laning phases from Faker, and also one of the best games that we've seen out of him as well.
It's a very big minion wave pushing into SKT. It'd be a shame if SKT froze the bottom lane, especially because Quinn is so fast at moving across the map. There's still a minute and a half until Baron, and so no obligation to do anything, but Klid's actually just going to shove it right back in. SKT suggesting that they want to skirmish immediately.
Yep. A few items coming in here as well, as Khan's got the Infinity Edge done. We've got an Oblivion Orb as well as the Sork Boots coming in for Faker, very close to that Morellonomicon, which we know you love so much. Even a Haunting Guys there from Klid.
Not like this.
Yeah, not like this. But, you know, denying healing, not too bad. Actually, I mean, cull the meek.
I'm gonna walk off.
Healing, mate.
I'm
What about the cull the meek healing, man?
All right, TP coming into the middle of the lane by Teddy. Now with Home Guard, let's see what he's actually doing here by using his TP.
Well, I mean, Teddy just likes to get back to lanes as quickly as possible. That's how he uses it.
He would be in about the same position that he is, or almost the same position. He'd be a little bit slower on this wave, but he would still have his TP. Yeah. So.
But also, I mean,
he's an AD
carry. It's not like you're going to be flanking on a Lucian. We've
What
seen
if,
those things
you know
happen
what?
before.
Do you remember when Ghost won with a TP on the Nexus?
Hey, that's true. That
See?
did happen.
Don't just waste your Summoner spell, Atlas. Come on.
He might just be able to win at the Nexus.
He could have even
Anyway.
pit-stopped it Wolves.
That's true.
Like he just did, okay?
Okay.
Had he been running from the base.
Faker taking a little bit of damage there. It is the AP variety
Oh,
of the
are they just going to coin flip?
They're going to dive right on top of it. They've got a lot of damage. Remember, both teams have this Mountain Drake as the Weaver's Wall is going to cut this one in half. The culling there as well, as it is going to be the Baron secured by Damwon. And everyone is over the wall. Speaking of walls, they light it up there as Showmaker is able to stun a lot of SKT members. SKT now trying to make the best of a bad situation, moving into this mid lane, but Nuggery is going to get there. Improved recalls come back again, and Damwon, they just stole that Baron right out from under SKT, and all they lose is this inhibitor turret. That is a big deal, but now it's not going to be SKT able to fall back to any Barons, and Damwon have bought themselves some time.
Yeah, Damwon, it's almost unacceptable that they're able to do that. SKT, Teddy teleported into mid to make sure that they could get all of the vision and set it up properly, and yet still, Damwon were able to sneak the Baron, and so now, with the Baron minions, the bolstered stats, they're trying to march down mid. Remember, they're the ones on a timer. LeBlanc has hit that point in the game where almost any target is going to be a potential isolated kill for LeBlanc. Teleport by Nuguri, he has, or teleport available for Nuguri as he's recalling.
He's 50 CS behind, as is Showmaker. This is actually a game which is really interesting because Damwon don't often play around their bottom lane. Often the solo lanes that are able to win out, but this time it's going to largely be on Nuclear and how he can use all of the farm that he's actually been given in this game. Khan is going to pay some attention here to the Ocean Drake on the bottom side, probably wanting to cycle this as soon as possible to try and get towards that Elder. They will have a slight Drake advantage when that does come around, but without any Infernals, it's not exactly the hugest Elder Drake to worry about. But it is still going to be another buff that they can play for as this game goes on. Neither of these teams really excelling too much at the Siege without a Baron, and therefore more options to create a fight. It's probably going to be a good thing, but as this game goes on, where is the turning point? Is there a turning point where Damwon are going to feel like getting behind Nuclear's Kai'Sa is going to be their win condition and SKT not going to have as many abilities to fight back, or is this still SKT's game to lose?
Okay,
Khan in trouble. A lot of stuns and a lot of death. Killer Instinct there from Nuclear is going to be a comfortable one. And Showmaker stays up top. He did use the Ignite there in that kill as well. And going to shove that one forward. Now going to go back home. We'll see what items he can actually build here. He's only a couple of Dirks into the build. 1,000 gold is now done. He's 2,000 behind, and the Edge of Night has finally been secured for the Qiyana.
So to answer the question, is there ever a tipping point for Damwon? And realistically, no. You look at Renekton, he's capped off. He's going to conduct himself as the same champion from every item here forward. You look at the Kai'Sa, and she's also going to function pretty similarly. Yes, she's going to get more damage when she completes the Rabadon's death cap, but realistically, SKT don't practically fight the way that Damwon would want them to for them to maximize such an item. And for Qiyana, she's already doing absurd amounts of damage. The only thing that she's going to get, potentially, is a little bit more utility in the form of maybe a Guardian Angel.
Well, Harrier does get used very effectively here by Khan. Not going to be roaming through and grabbing anything there, as those Krugs died extremely quickly. And flicks them back into Damwon's open maw. Faker now split pushing on the top side of the map. He is so far ahead when it comes to farmers. We're going to check this out once again. Not a lot of opportunity for Khan to play League of Legends this time around.
Nope. Tried his best, almost able to kill Showmaker there, but not quite.
Does now have QSS, as SKT continue to have this gold lead, but you can see that Damwon has pulled it back relatively well with that Baron play that they did make.
Yeah.
Losing an inhibitor turret, not going to be the end of the world. SKT unable to actually push the minion wave up towards threatening that inhibitor.
Looking like it's going to just go to Elder Dragon.
Yeah, bit of an Elder Dragon Baron battle.
Yeah, it's probably just going to be decided on Elder. You know what I want to point out right now, Atlas?
Yeah, point it out, man.
Take a look at that item on
Silas. The Leandri's Torment?
The Leandri's Torment.
I think that got him an MVP,
I talk about...
Didn't that get it? That got him your MVP vote right there.
My vote, I'll tell you that much.
Damwon wins the game, gives it over to Silas instantly.
Better than that Morella Nomicon, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I mean, Canyon's obviously just making the wrong choice, right? It looks like Morella Nomicon is going to be coming in, but he is sitting on an Oblivion Orb and the extra Ruby Crystal, so maybe not. Maybe he's just going to hold on to the magic penetration.
Does seem like he might be a little bit of a savant if he doesn't elect to complete it.
Our jungle is really understanding how to build items this game.
All right, well, actually, you're right. Spectre's Cowl completed, and that'll give him very much needed resistance against the LeBlanc pickoff, because that's what SKT's team composition is trying to do. Now, even if Damwon look like they're posturing for vision, they're doing all of this stuff, remember, the smoke and mirror is how SKT tries to win these fights. They try to pick and pry away at Damwon and pull them in all sorts of directions via the Quinn and the LeBlanc. Bottom wave shoving in. SKT, they really need Okay, well.
Yeah, Beryl gonna have to dash to get himself out of there. Wow, it was very close to just being popped in one round as Faker's gonna find some chains, but didn't have vision of the area. And SKT, they just have positional advantage. They'll move on over. They'll grab this inhibitor that they prepared earlier. The wall is going to fly in, but blocked there from Effort.
Oh!
As Canyon gonna have to go golden. Showmaker here trying to protect him. It's
Beautiful
a good
timing.
ultimate there from Effort as well in the backline, but they're not able to take him down. Canyon is going to be able to limp out of there as SKT now with their eyes onto the Baron.
And now
Voidseeker's going to discover where they're going, though.
Oh, man. Well, Canyon, he doesn't have Weaver's Wall. He's going to have to run all the way back there.
This time for this particular fight, Showmaker does have the
Elder
supreme display of talent, though. As Beryl could be in trouble once again. The chains are not going to connect for the snare.
Oh, man. This is actually neck and neck. Elder is infinitely more valuable to both of these teams than Baron.
Yeah.
The Baron minions don't matter. Elder Drake being able to basically attack move through your opponent is a much bigger prize. But both of them fight over the Baron, then it's obviously going to be a massive edge. Remember, Canyon, no flash, no ultimate. This is going to be SKT's Baron.
Yep, it is going to be taken, but now can Damwon actually find the fight? The answer looks to be yes, it's Nuclear. Dives into the backline. He's got himself his Banshee's Veil and is going to be able to keep himself alive, but the rest of the team not so lucky as Beryl. So incredibly low. So low health bars on SKT's side, though, and Damwon can't actually chase into the enemy jungle. The minion waves were not kept in check on Damwon's
so
side.
Fast.
Yeah, and Khan's looking to try and make his way back forward. In fact, trying to get some stragglers moving towards this Elder Drake. Khan's there already. And Harrier is there also to spot out all the extra vision. Canyon looking to lock down this blue buff, and SKT, they're going to be uncontested moving towards the Elder. This is just way better controlled play from the SKT squad. Didn't even need to win a team fight. Just go over, they take what they can get based on the control that they have, and now with Baron buff, with Elder Drake, and with an open base on Damwon's side, there are 2 Nexus turrets away from SKT, moving 1-0 up in this series, and also getting a blue side victory to start the series as well.
Well, does look like this could potentially be the last minute of the game. SKT, they only need one more wave. Khan escorted the mid-minion wave in. He's elected not to go top, which is a little bit surprising, given how quick Quinn is at getting across the map when needed.
Yep, probably going to tidy up this minion wave in the mid lane and then probably do that, as that's a big wave stacking up for SKT.
It's a massive wave in top lane, but Khan not going to it. Even though SKT, they have complete control over bottom, what this is suggesting is they want to end the game right now inside of this push.
And that wave's not going to bounce back for a while as well, as Seismic Shove's going to go wide. You can see, I believe those minions are even just going to take that turret down by themselves. Khan eventually going to make his way up there. They take down the second inhibitor of the game, and SKT, they're playing this one by the book. Moving their way over, they'll be taking down the enemy jungle. An inner turret fell as an afterthought, and now SKT setting themselves up for another siege. Okay, that's a hell of a lot of damage onto Showmaker. Can't really do too much, but it's a good double stun coming out. The Kiana getting the work done, and Faker is going to get picked. Really nice layering of CC from Damwon's side, and it's going to alleviate so much pressure here for these guys.
Well, that's actually really sad now. So because SK Telecom, they didn't execute the lane manipulation correctly, it ends up resulting in the Baron and Elder going to fade. Faker, he's going to pick up a death cap soon. But just look at this. They can't actually perforate the top inhibitor turret. And this is a byproduct of Khan aimlessly running around in mid lane and doing nothing for about a minute.
Yeah.
They already were going to get the bottom inhibitor regardless. Damwon were in no universe going to run headfirst, even with numbers advantage, 5v4, against an Elder Baron SKT. The Braum would have been able to shut every attempt down that Damwon would have done. And so some lane manipulation errors on the side of SKT this game, but they're still in the driver's seat. And once LeBlanc completes that death cap, the Spectre's Cowls, they're not going to matter that much.
No. See what the next item is actually going to be from Canyon as well as we move forward. It was a Banshee's Veil done actually for Nuclear. It actually caught me by surprise because he had the needlessly large rod in his back pocket, decided that it wasn't going to be a death cap though, and the Banshees comes in as the final item. He's got himself a bounty. I mean, this Kai'Sa is relatively strong and pretty safe, given the Zhonya's Banshee's choice. Fair bit of damage as well. Rageblade able to be stacked up very effectively and has all of the evolutions available in Kai'Sa's kit. But Damwon have been unable to find a decisive fight that's actually got them too much in the last 10 minutes or so. And SKT have been able to retain all of the map control that they created earlier. Really interesting compositions out of both of these teams means it's not easy just to go straight up the mid lane as SKT's composition. You know, they don't necessarily have dedicated frontline themselves, and the same can be said for Damwon. So the way that this is played out is largely going to be around building up vision and taking down Barons and Elder Drakes. So 2 minutes until that Elder and a minute and a half until the next Baron.
Well, the Baron will convert immediately into the capture of the Elder, so eyes on the prize for who will end up getting that one. Khan still on this Valor, always in the wrong place. It's actually quite impressive.
Yeah, hanging out.
You know, he's like the, trying to think what it is. I forget what the name of it is. Never mind.
What?
I was thinking of a Harry Potter animal. It always got lost. Wasn't it an animal?
The animal that was like, I do know the one you're talking about.
You know which one I'm talking about,
The one that looks
right?
a bit like a platypus.
It's always lost.
From the movie?
Yeah.
The Amazing Beasts movie? There's like...
I believe so. Yes!
Yeah, the one that's running around and
go.
it's like stealing stuff. Is it a... It's not a Bogart, is it? Because Bogart's, that's the one that...
I have no idea.
That disguises itself as the things that scare you. So it's not one of those.
Also,
I'm sure
Khan
someone
has
will let us know on Twitter.
Lord Dominic's.
He does.
Which I was messaged recently, actually, about Lord Dominic's and Mortal Reminder. I was actually told that Mortal Reminder is almost always better.
Huh. Why?
But something to do with the numbers. But you know what? I'm not Freak, okay?
That's true.
Freak, he'd have the numbers for you.
He's that guy. He's the
that
numbers
guy. Yeah.
That's why I watch both of the patch rundowns, because
See?
you both give me something different.
Oh, Scar stopped, didn't he?
Well, he does the
He does
TFT
TFT
ones
now.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
it's just me and Freak remaining.
Yep. As Faker taking a bit of damage here as he dives to try and get a bit of softening onto the Damwon squad. But now Khan's looking for the back door. They still have that inhibitor down, and Damwon won't actually be able to stop this. Look at how incredibly fast he is. The Weave as well comes in as Nuclear is on the wrong side, has to flash. They're just going to jump onto the Baron and hope for the best because the Clin is looking to win the game. Gigantic ultimate stolen by Clin. He goes golden as well, and this is looking to be all over for Damwon Gaming. They're winning a 4v5 team fight, our SKT, whilst Khan wins the game. And that is how we're going to do it. SKT, they win it all in a moment's notice.